Everybody. Happy Friday. So, I have in the last 2 or 3 days received notes from like six parents asking about the Google Classroom summaries. And so, everybody for whom I have an email should have gotten an invitation. Okay. But sometimes they end up in spam. So, and also if I had it last year, it seemed to have carried over. So you didn't need to get a new invitation. If you are getting the weekly summaries or you want to get the weekly summaries, I need to have the email address that you want me to send it to. So if you aren't getting them and you want to get them, send me off a note with your email address and I can certainly send you another invitation. Amy Lubawicki, I think, girl, you need to get a new email address. Anywho, so when you get them, and thank you, Jacob and Rihanna, for letting me use your stuff in order to do this. So poor Jacob, he's in my homeroom. He's a lovely kid, and his mom let me put my name, and it shows on his end that Robin Scarlett is his guardian. Robin, I think we scared him a little bit. But anyway, so it's going to come. It's going to look like this. It's going to say Google Classroom Weekly Summary for Jacob. So when you open it, it's ugly as all get out. It's like that song that my son came home singing when he was a little kid. It's the song that never ends. Jacob Jingleheimer Smith, I think that's what it was, embedded in my brain for years. This is just horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. So what I did, it doesn't look like this in your child's Google Classroom, just so you know. So what I did is I just made a PDF file and highlighted a couple things so that you'll see what it is. So, okay, so it tells you who it's for, obviously. This is where the problem comes in. I'm so thrilled that you all are getting on your kids about making sure that their homework and stuff is done. The problem is the default to Google Classroom is missing. So if the teacher hasn't corrected it yet, if the grade just hasn't been put up yet, or the teacher is waiting for revisions, or it took more than one day to complete, it shows as missing. So keep an eye on this. So this first part is missing from last week. Now, last week is actually like the stuff for this week, okay? Because I think it cuts off on it might cut off on Thursday night or something. Because one of the assignments that our kids did today showed for next week. So I don't know. So I just highlighted a couple parts. So here again, this is the one that causes a big problem. So it's missing from last week. So if you scooch down here, characteristics of living of life, graphic organizer, I know the kid did it. Okay. So it shows as missing, but it is not. But we did it on Monday and we didn't finish it until Wednesday. So that's why it's still showing as missing. Okay. And then it goes all the way down. Every single thing that's posted on every single one of your students' Google Classrooms is on here. And it is just awful. Okay. So if you want to kind of see what's going on in the class and see how that's going, all the stuff is here. It's all here. All the assignments are things that were assigned in class and all of that. So that's that. Come back to this in a second. But now I want to show you what it looks like for them, at least in my class. I don't know about the other classes. But so Rihanna, thank you again. I don't have, like I said, I don't have access to kids' stuff. So luckily they let me borrow their stuff. Okay, so excuse me, this is a different class, but it looks the same. Doesn't matter. Okay, so when the kid goes into their Google Classroom, this is the first thing that they see. So their stream, I mean, teachers can change the settings, but for their stream, for me, it's just announcements. I don't want their work in the stream. And so their classwork is where all the stuff for Google Classroom is. And I break my stuff into chunks. So the very top stuff is stuff that isn't in a specific category. I mean, it will be ultimately, but it isn't just yet. And I had two students actually give me some input because I had given them a survey and asked for input on what could I do to make things a little bit easier. Was there something that was being done in another class that made it easier for them? And they said no. And then two of them had great ideas. One of the kids said to me, "Could you put Bitmoji or pictures next to them so our eyes would be drawn right there?" Good thing I'm not a teacher, right? I should have thought of that. And then Josephine said, could you please put, like, I break it up by days, but one of my students asked me, could I put all of the asynchronous work in one place? So it's pretty easy. So I use just a handful of Bitmojis. So I use the house because I call it home fun, even though it's homework, but shh, don't tell them. It's home fun, but I promise no homework for the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter, depending how things go. That check-in list is the thing that I sent you. They can use it or not. That's why it says not required. And then I chose a broken heart and I told them, I said, you'll know to find the asynchronous work because it breaks my heart that I don't get to see you. So that's why I use the broken heart. And then the flowers are the things that they have to do on that day. So for those kids that are a little bit more visual than others, it works really well for them. And so then all of this, the rest of the stuff, the weekly stuff, right? The 2 days that we have them, I break it up. So body and organic molecules, this looks like a middle finger, but I swear it's not. They're pointing up. So all of the stuff up there is the unit that we just started last week. So that's what your students see. So they really do have a lot going on. One last thing that I want to show you on this at the very end, go to the very end. It's that song that never ends. It's like the report that never ends. Can you imagine if they were here for 5 days? Oof, poor kids. Okay, so if you don't want to get these anymore and you are getting them, you can hit unsubscribe. And if you inadvertently hit I want one every single day, which I really would not recommend because of the reasons I just told you, it's going to be missing, missing, missing if the teacher hasn't put it up yet. And I can guarantee you, most teachers aren't going to get the stuff up that night. It depends on the assignment, I guess. Okay, but you can go into settings and you can, oh, wait a minute, I can't. Oh, shoot. Oh, sorry, I have to get that off there. I forgot his name's going to pop up with a student number. But on the bottom here, you go into settings and you can choose weekly or daily. I would definitely do weekly. I would definitely do weekly. But if you have any questions, you know where to get me. I'm sorry this was so long-winded, but this is causing a lot of problems. It's stressing parents out and it's stressing the kids out because the kids are saying, but mom, I did it. And mom's like saying, no, it's missing. Well, you're both right. It is missing, and the kid may have done it. Of course, maybe your kid didn't do it, but I don't know. So just send me a note if you have any questions, and I hope this helps, and maybe we'll relieve a little bit of stress at home, even because there'll be less fighting if you know maybe the kid did do it. You can always ask him to show you too. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Bye bye.